Hello, Irina. It's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing quite fine, and thank you so very much for being here. And you see, oftentimes, Irina, I love to thank my guest for two things, and I do this so often to the point where it has become my anthem. So, firstly, I want to say thank you so very much, Irina, for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you did invest in yourself. And oftentimes I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. They say some couple of months back, Irina, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, there was this very tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, Irina, just recently I was on that same road. And this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance, and immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did, and it wowed me because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, beautiful green leaves and healthy branches, and not just mangoes now, I'm talking about ripe mangoes. It was such a lovely moment that day. I was so excited. Here's my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing Irina that you are today, that alone has made it really impossible for me to say no to you and getting to read a little bit about you, the beautiful stuff that you're doing, your insights, your philosophies, how you are offering your solutions. It's amazing. I tell you, it's amazing. So I've got to say, thank you so very much for doing that to yourself. And secondly, thank you for being here. I truly appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Beautiful. So let's get started. You see, I'm quite excited to have you on the show today for some reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a chaotic situation to that of a beautiful one, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information, and not just knowledge now, but the application of it. And you see, Irina, ever since I realized that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness means ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. And the second reason why I'm excited to have the amazing Irina on the show is for the sake of the audience. You see, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced, Irina, that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So, for that reason, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or your professional journey, because right now we are so curious. We want to know how Irina got here. Then, afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Irina, over to you.
All right. Life journey in 1 minute. Um, I was originally born in USSR. I like to joke the country that doesn't exist anymore, in a part that is Russia. I moved to United States about 16 years ago and been here since then. I own several businesses, and one of the larger businesses was heating and air conditioning company. With the success of the business came burnout. And after burnout, I went to on a path of personal development and growth. And, when I grew up, who do I want to be? And that journey of personal investigation and investment in myself led to helping others to do the same. And that's how the current business started. And now it transformed into the academy where we train high stress professionals. And we have several legs of business. One of them is the first responders, so firefighters, EMS, police, where we train them and provide education. We also work with corporate leaders, people who are extremely stressed, as well as business owners and just people who seeking to be the best. And also, like you mentioned, not just looking for knowledge, because knowledge is only potential power. And we live in a world where knowledge is accessible very easily now. But what do you do with the knowledge? How do you implement it, or what we also call integrate? How do you, knowing is one thing, but how do you act on it? How do you truly believe, not just saying you believe? That is a different story. And that's what we help and do now.
Amazing, beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. I love that. You see, you use one of my favorite words, which is help. And I find folks like you very powerful and interesting to listen to. So thank you for the stuff you're doing. So I'm curious, how do you run or how do you balance running multiple businesses? How do you do it?
How do I do that? I just do it without thinking. No, it's the prioritizing, and interestingly enough, is putting myself first. If I am fully integrated, if I'm fully rested, if I have the resources, the power, the energy to do the work, then my business becomes successful. But I can't run the business from empty cup. So after a burnout, that's what I learned is I have to take care of myself first. And when I do that, that directly reflects my family, my friends, my business, because the relationship and all of that benefit from me being the best version of myself.
That was a sagacious reply. Putting yourself first. I got that. I got that. Okay, so how did you, let's say, what drew you into neuroscience-based training?
Well, as I mentioned, that was a burnout. And when you're on your knees and you don't want anything, when you're not happy waking up in the morning, what's the worst thing can happen, right? And I just mysteriously got into a training on personal development. And what I thought I'm going to learn is more on the sales and all of that, because I was very money driven, very cynical. And that ended up being neuroscience-backed. And we, as a society and a lot of people, we're driven by numbers, by statistics and all of that. But behind every single number is a human being. Behind every performance, behind every pedestal, number one, gold medal, whatever that is, behind every performance is actually a human being. And what drives that human being? Why they perform certain way, why they act certain way, right? Why they have certain behaviors. Behind every behavior is how people feel. And behind every feelings is also the mindset, the programs that were installed in you, and so on. So once I realized that you have to start here first, it just fascinated me so much that I decided that I want to know more.
Beautiful, I got that. Okay, so what are some of the challenges that you faced, entering a male-dominated industry?
Being young, being foreign, being a woman, all of those things that make me different, black sheep, or what people would call, whatever you want to say it, everything was different about me. And when you're different, people start questioning you and your ability of doing the work. And what I realized later on, what made me different made me unique and made me memorable. And I turned that, instead of seeing it as my weakness, I turned it into my power. And I embraced it instead of hiding it. I can't hide who I am. When you're in a room with a lot of 50 and 60-year-olds that have been doing it for so long, I can't hide that, who I am. But I embraced it, I acknowledged it, and I stood by it. And just being and feeling confident in your own skin, that what also made me memorable and unique and helped me to overcome that difference.
Mm-hmm. Embracing your true self, and I got that. So, what is the biggest lessons you've learned as a serial entrepreneur? Got it?
Mm-hmm. I would say having behavior flexibility. We are living in such a fast changing world. If you're gonna do it and do it the old way and your way is the only way and you just stick to it for too long, you might miss a train. So being able to have the flexibility of behavior, to have a different communication styles, to be able to talk to little kids and be playful, and at the same time walk into the boardroom and be very serious and know your numbers and know the proper language to communicate with the board of directors. So the flexibility of who you are, like chameleon in a certain way, but not in a bad way, but just being able to meet the people where they are. So it will be easier for them to communicate with you and for you to deliver your message.
I got that. Okay, so let's talk about impact and vision. All right. What drives your mission to train 1 million people?
I think we live in a world with a lot of harm and negativity. Overall mission is to be a better human being, and how much the world will be better if everybody would truly know how to be kind to each other. And doesn't mean you have to agree, but respect each other in people's view of the world. And so I think that would be a very beautiful place, the place where I want my kids to grow up. And that's what drives the mission.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that's so unique, I tell you. Okay, let's talk about your approach. All right. So, what makes your training different from traditional approaches?
We are very action driven. So even though everything is based on neuroscience, it's not a theory, it's not a therapy. It's real tools that when people learn, they immediately apply. So it's practical, it's tactical, and it's very powerful. And at the same time, easy to use. Not easy, let's put it differently. Simple, very simple, but powerful.
Very simple, but powerful. Okay, I got that. So, I want us to still talk more on that. Okay, so how do you help people shift their mindset using neuroscience?
Well, first, do they want to change, right? Do they want to shift their mind? Because the first question is, do you want it and for what purpose? What is the purpose of you? Why do you believe that you need to change or shift? Is it because somebody said so, or do you truly believe that something in your life is not working and you want to be better? You want to overcome certain things. And when you do that, we want to realize what's holding you back. What is the root cause? What is the reason why you do certain things, you behave certain way, or you think certain way? And go into the root cause, and then what I would call is, like a pulling a weed, right? Like pulling it with the roots to remove it and build a new neurological pathway, new habit, new neurology, new things. That's one of the ways we help. But first and foremost is awareness, is realization. You cannot change something you don't know what you don't know. So you still have to become aware of what is happening and then make a decision to change, make a choice to change.
Profound words. And that really sets you apart, I tell you, because that's a very unique style and a beautiful approach, and it sounds really effective. Well done, you're doing a great job, Irina. So, to bring this to an end, what would you like to leave the audience with? And for those folks who would like to reach out to you, let them know about everything we've discussed so far. or even open your programs, how can that be possible?
I truly believe that everything is possible. If you can think of it, you can have it, you can achieve it, it can become reality. And if you want to connect, if you want to learn more, our website is the best way to find out. And it has all the social media links and email and phone number and all of that. But first and foremost, visit our website. It's Modivaction Academy.
Beautiful. I truly believe everything is possible. If you can think of it, you can make it happen. Irina 2025. I got that. Thank you so very much. So that's going to be the end of the show, Irina. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing those beautiful stuffs with us. It means a whole lot. Thank you.
Thank you.